Nom, 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 nom.
Hi, good morning. My name's Rich. We're Consumer Hub. We tell your story about the best people in marketing, innovation, and sales. Today on our Snack Challenge podcast, we've got Charlie Sutton from Broma. Thank you for joining us, Charlie. Charlie and his business partner Ollie, they run a chocolate sauce business called Broma, and we've got some of the products here to try today, which we're very excited about. So, Charlie, tell us a bit about Broma and what makes it great. Sorry about that phone
Yeah,
ring.
it's an all-natural chocolate sauce. It's vegan, organic, no refined sugars. And the whole reason we set it up was we wanted to get away from the highly processed kind of processed powders that you find in the supermarkets for making hot chocolates with, really.
Yeah.
And that's also another kind of USP of ours, is that it's really versatile because it's a sauce. You can not only use it for your hot chocolates and milkshakes, you can also drizzle it on your fruit and ice cream, porridge, things like that. Whereas we found the powders, the drinking chocolate powders, a lot of the time, they're quite restrictive in what you can use them for.
Yeah.
And the single biggest ingredient in them, a lot of the time as well, is sugar.
Yeah.
So we kind of wanted to switch that around. We make cacao the biggest ingredient, so you get a really kind of rich chocolate hit. And we use sweeteners, natural sweeteners like date syrup. So they bring kind of their own nutritional value, to the product as well. It's tasting really good.
And you've got an interesting ingredient I saw on the deck, which is it yakan syrup? What's that?
Yeah. Yakan syrup is also from Peru, so that's where we get the cacao powder from. Is Peru,
Right.
and yakan is an amazing natural sweetener. That it comes from a plant that looks like a sweet potato.
Yeah.
And it's got a lovely caramelized malty flavor to it. It's got a glycemic index of 1.
Wow.
So kind of no sugar highs with it. And it's a natural prebiotic as well.
Right.
And it just suits that malty caramelized flavor, suits the cacao really well. And it's quite nice. Me and Ollie quite liked it when we found it because it's from the same kind of area as the cacao. So we kind of envisaged, maybe many years ago when the Mayans or whatever were drinking their hot chocolates, they might have, put this same sweetener in their hot chocolates as well. So it's a really great sweetener that you don't see so often.
It's the first time I've ever seen it, and we're really into our, food and always looking at the ingredient decks. I've never come across it, so it's a nice little find. It's good to discover something new. Yeah, but I've had carob syrup before that I really like. That's
we have tasted this a little bit. It's an interesting one, isn't it? It's pretty good, and I think that's got many health benefits as well, hasn't it?
Yeah. I'm not so up on the science of it, but my mother has a lot of kind of free from stuff, and she uses carob instead of chocolate for a lot of things. It's quite nice, got quite a rich flavour. I was going to ask you about the Himalayan salt as well, because I noticed that's obviously the other side of the world, but you got Himalayan salt in it. Now, we were trying some pot lotus seeds earlier, and they had Himalayan salt on it. It's the first time I had it. I thought, this is really different. So what made you go for that particular salt rather than sea salt or, any other type of salt?
I think it's going along the lines of minimally processing the ingredients that we use, so that they retain as many nutrients as possible. So I think using some kind of table salts that you get, they've gone through so much processing that they don't offer any nutritional benefit at all. And I also think the Himalayan pink sea salt it's not that kind of harsh, kind of really full on salty flavor. It's a bit more mild. So that's why I went for that.
Nice. Yeah, it's definitely mellow. I really like the. I think my wife's just read a book called French Kids Eat Everything, and it's about kind of French food culture, and we're trying to kind of instill that in our kids with our family, and so that making meal times much less processed, more about spending longer eating. And one of the things that she's done actually since reading this book, she's kind of banned table sauces unless they're a specific accompaniment to a certain food, and the reason being is that the kids, they'll just slather salt, tomato ketchup and everything, and I'll just put spicy sauce and everything. There's a place for it, isn't there? But after a few weeks, you first think, I've had my sauce nicked. But then the natural flavours come through, and she started using a much wider variety of subtle flavours. And now I'm thinking, wow, there's all these subtle inflections in flavour I've been missing out on for years, just because I've just smashed sauce on everything American style, which is just kind of terrible, really, isn't it? What it does to your taste.
Definitely, yeah. I think I was definitely guilty of that when I was younger, just like smashing the tomato sauce on like everything. And it's interesting about you mentioned the French kind of way of life and the way they treat food. I think it's something that in the UK we are starting to treat food like maybe the French and the Italians as a real way of life, and it's not just there to fulfill the purpose of sustaining yourself. It's that event, isn't it? And it's central to everything they do in daily life, and it brings the family together
absolutely.
On a daily occasion, which is so important, especially right now where we're at with everyone is so busy all the time. I think that's one of the great things about food is that it has that ability to bring people together.
I think so. We've got 4 kids, so it's a big family, and they're always doing scouts or beavers or dancing, taekwondo. So you feel like most evenings you're just a bit of a taxi. So it's just having that anchoring point every day. It's the only time everyone gets together, and we all sort of share about it. Then it's just fantastic. But tell me a bit about your background and Ollie's background, because you're a chef, aren't you? But Ollie's a geologist, is that right?
That's right. Yeah. Basically. When you take a chef that loves food and a geologist that loves healthy, merge that together and you get Broma.
Like it.
I was a chef for 16 years. My entire professional life has been cooking, so I love food. And Ollie was a geologist. I think he delved into property development for a little bit. And he loves his health and his food as well. And that's kind of how we got talking, really, I think.
And you guys have been friends for years, have you, since school? Is that right?
That's right, since we were 12 years old.
Smashing.
We grew up in the same sort of area as well, a place called Malvern, on the Malvern Hills.
Oh, it's lovely. Beautiful. Is that the Cotswolds?
Not too far. That's pretty close. It's kind of Herefordshire, Worcestershire. County. So we spent a lot of our childhood sort of running around the Malvern Hills, camping and other stuff. So it's good.
Have you done a bit of trekking and exploring? Is that partly what sort of got you into the Peruvian stuff? Because I really like the logo for Broma. It's the llama, isn't it? It's great. It's really distinctive.
That's right. Yeah, it's funny actually. Funny story behind the llama in it. Although our cacao is Peruvian, we actually came up with the logo before we found the cacao.
Oh, did you? Nice.
So I went. We basically tasted. I think it's about over 30 different cacao powders from all around the world. Lots of different varieties. I didn't realise this before I started this company actually, and started exploring cacao a bit more, learning more about it. That there's many different varieties. They all taste completely different. They can even be the same variety. So you can get 2 Criollo varieties from the same country, even the same region, really, and they can taste really different.
And yours is Criollo, is it?
Ours is Criollo, So it has it's synonymous with sort of like more complex tones, a bit more to it. And actually, less than 5% of the world's chocolate is made using Criollo.
Oh, okay.
85% of the world's chocolate is made using Forastero, and the reason it's used so much is because it's a much hardier variety, and therefore cheaper.
So is it easy for them to kind of buy in mass on the commodity market with less sort of fluctuations for that reason?
That's right, exactly that.
So sourcing and supply chain for you must be quite a big factor then, if you want to keep the consistency of the Criollo.
Yeah, exactly. We're lucky. We work with a really great company, sourcing. They're on the ground in Peru. All the time, and we get our yacon and our cacao from them. And there are things like the cacao powder is farmed in alliance with the World Land Trust. So it's all kind of ethically, sustainably sourced, which is like really important for us as well. And just their farming practices are really good. So we're fortunate to work with someone like that.
Yeah. Have you spent quite a long time sort of winnowing down different suppliers and meeting with them, making sure that they kind of got the credentials that you wanted, or was it quite clear from the offset someone was a market leader and you wanted to go with them?
It took a bit of time actually. A good kind of probably about 5 or 6 months actually of trying so many different cacao powders, and that's for all the ingredients really. Anyone that we work with, it's always a view that we're working with them for the long term. And I think it's really important to have that really good relationship with them, working forward and growing together. Whether it's your suppliers, your manufacturer, the retailers you're selling to. I think that is one of the most important things, is that whoever you decide to work with, I think you've got to view it as a long-term relationship, and you've got to grow together.
That's I mean, just thinking about, I was going to ask you about your relationship with Ollie, because one of the themes that's kind of come through in some of the podcasts that we've done is that a lot of really successful entrepreneurs, they work in partnership. They've kind of, there's 2 of them or maybe 3 of them, and they've each got quite a distinct role. Like, how does it play out in your business? Kind of, what's your gig? What's Ollie's gig? You know, do you ever fall out? Kind of, how have you made it work? How's that chemistry come together for you?
Yeah, we work pretty well together. I think it helps that we know each other. We've known each other so long, and we therefore trust each other a lot.
So you can tell him when he's been a goon.
Exactly. Yeah.
Vice versa.
It's probably that honesty that sort of means we haven't had one of these full-blown arguments that you hear about sort of happening with co-founders. And the sort of organising the different roles between us and what we do is something we've been putting a lot of time into recently. At the beginning, we're very much, in ways, we're quite independent, so we're just happy to just be by ourselves and sort of work towards that one goal of Broma. And we'd merge our job roles a lot, but as we've worked together, we've realised our strengths and weaknesses. Ollie is really good at writing content. So he does a lot of that now, and I like the figure side of things. So I generally handle that, and I think it's something we're going to continue working on to really make those roles really clear. And I think that'll help with us when we bring on a full-time member of the team to join Broma. It's going to help us as well identify their role and who we need to bring on.
That was such an interesting. What about? I try and ask you about this. So what about the name then? Where did the name come from?
Well, all chocolate comes from the Broma cacao tree.
Okay. Right.
And it also, Broma means food in ancient Greek.
Amazing.
Yeah, so it's kind of a cross between 2 sort of things that link.
Nice kind of bit of synergy in the meanings. That's great.
Nothing to do with bromance or anything, like a lot of people ask us. Like, oh, you and Ollie, it's like, oh, Broma, no.
Broma, what's the bromance? What is the word for food?
Can confirm it's not that.
I did wonder, and I thought, that's too obvious, it's got to be something else. So do your partners take an active interest? Do your family take an active interest in it, or is it pretty much just you guys that are squadding it?
Yeah, they've been pretty supportive, especially at the beginning. I mean, my mother-in-law in the very early stages of Broma was probably one of the UK's biggest distributors of Broma, just on the quantity that she bought.
That's what you need.
So that was really, it's really helpful, and it's, I think having a partner like Lauren as well that really, I can vent what's gone on in the day to. She must be sick of it. But it's so important because it's like it's a roller coaster of a ride. And I think it's really nice to have someone that you can voice any concerns with.
That's good.
And sort of reassure.
Yeah.
So although they're not kind of directly involved in Broma, they are like, very, very much part
they're
of
base, support base. Everyone needs that, don't they? That's been another theme in like interviewing entrepreneurs is, people seem to have a really good support team around them, and you need people that are kind of on the journey with you, but not necessarily in the detail, because they just have a bit more of a stand-back perspective, don't they? They can sort of, I know we found that with our wives actually setting this business up every now and again. They just say, well, you've had a down patch before, you've had an up patch before. Don't get carried away. Just keep it steady, and it's good. It's good to reined in.
That's so true, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you can get so wrapped up and involved in something that you might not be able to see it as clearly as you would like to or should be. Yeah. And just getting those, the extra pair of eyes on it from an outside perspective, it really, really helps, doesn't it?
And you mentioned the roller coaster there of the journey. So what's been the biggest high? What's been the biggest low? And also within that elephant in the room, how's COVID-19 affecting everything?
Yeah, well, COVID. I think we're just trying to take as many positives as possible out of it. It has made us massively increase our kind of online presence. Good. Which is something we were working towards anyway, because that's just the way things are going, aren't they?
True.
And so that's a positive for us in a way. It's what might have taken us, a year to be where we're at. We've kind of accelerated that and done it in a month or so, or hope to do it in a couple of months. Which is great. It's also doing stuff that is not only sort of going to be beneficial, I think, for the long term as well. So it's not just putting a plaster over, sort of the corona situation and trying to get through it. It's actually putting stuff in place that's going to benefit in the long term.
Future fitness proof in the next few chapters of the growth of the business.
It's really, really essential, I think, to make the most of your time.
Absolutely. Oh, what was what's been the biggest high in the journey? Because often there seems to be a tipping point where things emerge and things take off. Have you had that moment yet? Or
well, I think one of the biggest highs for me was actually in the very early stages when me and Ollie had started talking about it. It was we started talking about it in September 2018. And we got our first market stall on London's South Bank by December. And I remember I was living in Bristol at the time, and I remember driving down the night before, and I was pretty nervous about it. I had these visions that we'd basically stand on the South Bank for a whole weekend and wouldn't sell a single hot chocolate. So luckily I can confirm we did sell a few hot chocolates, and it was really, really good feedback. And I just remember, the first time, the first hot chocolate we sold, and it was a great feeling. It's like, we're putting it into action. Kind of
that's good. Yeah.
The past few months, and after that weekend, it was it really was a case of sort of I think we're onto something here. People really liked it. And that really kind of built up our confidence to do more markets, talk to more people, and then eventually to package it and sell it into shops. So that was a really early sort of good. That was a really good feeling. And I think for one of the most challenging times was shortly after we launched. We'd just got into we started working with a really big distributor in London. And they went down.
Oh, right.
And so they basically they gave us access to thousands of shops. And we're like, this is great. And then after a month of working with them, they then fortunately it's really sad for them and for a lot of their customers, they burned down, which then just kind of immediately put us back to stage one. After a few months, we just like, how is it happening? You can believe it. But again, I think anything like that, any negatives, you have to spin it around again, like this situation right now,
absolutely,
into a positive. And then what it did mean was we learned that, okay, don't put your eggs all in one basket.
Yeah.
Luckily, we were kind of working with a few other distributors at that time, and we just built up a stronger relationship with them, and brought on newer distributors to kind of combat that. Yeah.
And where are you at now on your journey? Are you both full time for Broma, or is it still kind of a big side hustle, and you kind of working 2 jobs, or are you kind of past that stage? Where are you in the journey?
Yeah, so me and Ollie are both full time on it.
Right.
We're kind of we're trying to just do everything ourselves as much as possible, really. And I think it's helped us being full time in it for so long, is that we just really got involved in everything.
Great.
So we're meeting other founders. We're just learning, really, really quickly, because of just involving ourselves as much as possible in the food scene. And just learning about business, really. Yeah, it has been a big learning curve.
Yeah, you must be tired at the weekend. Every week's something new you're learning, I can imagine.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it really is. Yeah, and there's many things we've done something and thought, oh yeah, that's like, really good, and it probably was like, quite good at the time, and then you look back on that a few months later, and you just think, oh, actually, it can be done so much better. And then that's just a recurring cycle, I think, of any business. Is the more you learn, the more you improve your things you put into place, and that's what makes it great, I think.
Yeah, that's a really good point. I think the best bit of advice Adam and I got given when we set up Consumer Hub, someone said to us, if it's worth doing badly. He just said, JFDI, just crack on, and just then make sure your ego's, put to one side, and you can just learn and just continue to improve. And that's kind of really stuck with us. And we found that with the with this podcast came out, this thing that we're doing, which we were calling the Snack Challenge, and we were literally just trying products on camera. And just because we really like food and into food, and thought, well, we're recruiting the food industry, so why not do this? And it was a bit quirky, it was just a bit gimmicky. And then somebody said to us, "Oh, you should interview the guys that make these products, because that would be really interesting." That it's kind of taken off. And then when we've looked back over the first videos that we did and put on YouTube, you think, "Oh, crikey, it's pretty sloppy." But it's here, so it's worth doing. It's worth doing badly as long as you learn from it, isn't it? So.
Yeah. It's funny you mentioned about the videos that me and Ollie have done a couple of videos in the past, and we haven't released a couple of them. And we're thinking now we just release them and hope for a laugh.
Yeah. That's a good point. Just chuckle on us.
Yeah.
So I want to get into the product now. So there's 2 flavors, aren't there? So there's the chocolate orange, and then there's the raw, isn't there? The raw cacao. I'm going to start with the raw, because I guess the orange might sort of suppress the taste of it if I try it afterwards.
Yeah. Spot on. Yeah, I always recommend going for the classic first.
Classic. And so I really like the format as well. It's like just very simple design. It's very like minimalist, isn't it? Nice green pouch. And what struck me is the pouch obviously is kind of quite minimalist. So I'm guessing the environmental impact from the pouch is quite low, isn't it? Because it's quite, well, it's just minimalist, isn't it? It's not loads of plastic.
It is. Yeah, in quite a few ways, really. Firstly, it uses up to 85% less plastic than a rigid bottle.
Yeah.
Because actually, most of it is foil, and then it's lined with plastic, so it uses a lot less plastic. And then also on the transit side of things, the carbon footprint is lower because they flat pack, and therefore you can fit so many more on that lorry. As opposed to, say, I don't know, something like a jar or a rigid plastic bottle. That's kind of the reasons we've chosen. And I think as well they stand out. They're a bit different.
Definitely.
And I like the feel of them.
They are, but very tactile. It's got a slight kind of matte sort of feel to it. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. And when you get really stressed, you can use it as like a stress ball as well.
Or chuck one at Ollie if he's been.
Yeah, exactly. Daily occurrence.
So I've got some of the sauce loaded up on my spoon here. So it looks very. I'll try and get a better view of the camera. Yeah, it's really nice and thick.
It's pretty, yeah, it's pretty rich. Right, so
That's great. It's really straight off. It tastes like a lot mellower than I was expecting it to taste. A bit kind of green and blacks, like 75%.
yeah,
Not quite harsh, but
yeah.
It's got like a real kind of like fruity cinnamon vibe. It's fruity is probably the way I'd describe it. I don't know if you agree, but
yeah, that's it. That's exactly how I think it tastes well from the date syrup. I think a lot of that's from. I think the date syrup gives it a lovely silky kind of fruitiness to it.
Yeah. I'm gonna go back for more because it's so good. That's great.
Yeah.
So do you find yourself tempted just to kind of, eat it off the spoon sometimes? That would be my temptation if I was running the chocolate business.
My preferred method now is in cold milk. I like after a bit of exercise to have it in some cold milk is really nice. Ollie's more of I think he's a mocha kind of guy.
Oh, okay. So I was going to ask you about this. So I've got myself a nice coffee that I've pre-made.
Yeah.
So you don't think it'd be sacrilege then if I mix them in?
No, absolutely not. The perfect combination.
I'm just going to mocker it up now.
Yeah.
To let people know if it comes recommended, which I'm having given it a whirl already. I reckon it will do.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're big coffee drinkers in the office. So we've got like a coffee grinding machine, and then we've got our own filter. So it's like every morning is a bit of a ritual. Harry and Adam, they make the coffee. Now, unfortunately, they don't allow me to make the coffee because they say I make terrible coffee. So,
right. Do you do that on purpose? So they
yeah.
You don't have to make.
I've not admitted it yet, but pretty much. It's just a con. I never have to make any of my own coffee. So they're going to be watching this now.
Little did they know you've been a barista for many years.
Yeah. Well, Adam's comment's just going to be, why did you ruin Charlie's chocolate with your terrible coffee? He's really upset that I've spoiled your lovely cacao. But I've mixed that in now, so I can give it a whirl.
Nice.
In a very generous portion.
Yeah.
That's really good. Really nice. It's it mixes really well as well, doesn't it? Like very easily. Yeah. I've not whisked it. It's just literally just dissolved in.
Yeah, that's another reason why we kind of made it into the sauce format that it's in now, as opposed to a powder or the solid buttons that you see quite a lot.
Yeah.
Is that you can just take your cup of hot or cold milk and it just stirs in an instant. There's no kind of faffing around trying to make the paste with the powder, or half the solid chocolate button kind of gets stuck to the bottom of the cup. Things like that. So that was one of the main reasons why we made it into a sauce.
So my quite a few of my family are like gluten and dairy intolerant, and one of the things that they complain about is a lot of the chocolate milk powders. They can't use them with almond milk or soy milk because they've actually got dairy powder in it already. This would be great, wouldn't it? Because there's just it's just completely unrefined, isn't it?
That's it. Yeah. It's a vegan. Yeah, it's a vegan product, but it's kind of vegan, sort of by accident in a way, because it doesn't have any hidden nasties in it. It is a chocolate product, and I think a lot of the time, the powders have milk powder in is to sort of bulk it out because it's an ingredient. Yeah. And we didn't want to do that. We wanted to make cacao the biggest ingredient for that to stand out the most, and then just take the edge off the cacao with natural sweetener, really. So it's a really simple ingredients list that just lets these really quality ingredients just speak for themselves.
And it's kind of 36 calories, is it, per 15 grams portion? Is that right? Yeah,
it's pretty low.
It's lean then, yeah. I've got the chocolate orange loaded up now.
Yeah, it's a big heat.
That's good. That's great.
Are you a fan of chocolate orange?
Yeah, Terry chocolate orange is kind of my Easter weakness. I'd rather have one of them than an egg. Yeah. Any of those watching out there, if you want to get me an Easter egg dough, get me an orange, chocolate orange. Oh, one of these. Yeah, I'll go for one of these. That'll be all right. That'll do me.
Yeah. Yeah, we didn't realise it divides quite a few people, actually.
Is it?
Chocolate and orange combination, yeah. Yeah, we should be releasing a salted caramel flavour pretty soon. That seems to be the most popular kind of chocolate combination at the moment. So look out for that one. I'll get one over to you. And
yeah, that'd be great. That'd be
let's know what you think of that. Yeah.
I think that chocolate orange is blowing me away. That's really good.
I much prefer that one by itself, actually. We just use a natural organic orange extract.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And we tried so many different essential oils and orange extracts to find the best one. And a lot of them we found could be, because of the way they're made up, they actually smell quite alcoholic.
Yeah.
Because of what they use to kind of make it a sort of a liquid.
Yeah.
And when we found the one we eventually use now, I unscrewed the cap and smelt it, and it was like 1,000 oranges had just been like zested in there. It's incredible, really good stuff. Yeah.
Because I was just going to say, the flavour of that one really reminds me of when you're making a Christmas cake and you do your orange zest, and it's got that kind of like, it just hits you in the nose straight away. As soon as I had it, it hit me in the nose. It's really nice. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah, I think there's nothing more disappointing than when you buy a product that is flavoured with something, and you taste it and you're like, where's that flavour? I can't really quite taste it. So we wanted to make sure it was kind of a proper chocolate orange hit.
I think the other thing that I object to is sometimes I'll buy kind of the sort of premium brands, and the core product is very, very good. It's very, very different. And then the products that are sort of that build out from the core, the original, they don't have the same depth of flavour. And it's if it's a fruit flavour, it's kind of like somebody's combined it with Haribo. Don't get me wrong, I like Haribo. But you probably don't want your chocolate orange sauce tasting like an orange Haribo, do you? And it's
exactly.
Great. It's like really kind of hits you in the nose. It's zesty. It's fresh. And I kind of always think that good flavours, they do actually kind of capture your smell as well. They engage like the whole of your kind of experience, don't they? The taste and the texture. I mean, the texture is really great because it's just so smooth. It's really, really good. It's great.
Yeah.
I think I'm definitely gonna give it a whirl with the milk. Actually, that sounds really nice. Might do that later. You got any other recipes you recommend to do to bake with the kids or?
Yeah, this is something I've actually now had even more time to sort of work on, being at home, working from home so much. I'll go out on my weekly shop now and get a load of ingredients that we can make a load of stuff with and create some really decent recipes that young families can make at home. Nice. Things like I made a Broma Rocky Road recipe the other day, a Knickerbocker Glory recipe. It's really good actually to have had this time to make loads of good recipes that people in isolation like we are at the moment can use these recipes to create and cook with their families and their children is really good.
That's a great shout. I think my son's making some chocolate flapjack this morning, so I'm hoping that's going to be ready for this afternoon for my 3 o'clock.
Nice,
I see that going quite nicely with some Broma chocolate on top. I might finish it off.
You got him well trained. I've got the crack of dawn making you flapjack.
I can't take credit for it, unfortunately. My wife, she's the cook. She's good in the kitchen. I'm allowed to do cook breakfasts and pizza. I like tasting it. I'm just not great at cooking. I do an all right roast dinner, but one of the I know you said about the opportunity thing. Like we found, obviously, like you'd expect, recruitment's kind of tanked for because who's hiring or spending money on marketing at the moment with everyone sat at home because you can't interview people. But it's been a really good opportunity for us to kind of go over all our marketing, look at kind of what our message is, kind of upscale the quality content and get lots of these kind of podcasts done, and also just catch up with people as well. And I think it's kind of the hallmark of a lot of the entrepreneurs we speak to is just generally just very optimistic and, you know, learning to see the positive and the opportunity and everything, regardless of what kind of gets thrown at them. But one of the things that we've had as feedback for this podcast is that a lot of people that seem to watch it and enjoy it are kind of, they want to be entrepreneurs themselves. They're kind of in the food industry, or maybe they're graduates and they want to work in food, and they're kind of really looking to see what people's journeys are like in detail. Like, if you had one piece of advice for somebody watching this who's maybe where you were 3-4 years ago, like what would it be?
I think, yeah, if you're someone that has an idea that you think solves enough of a problem, or you think it solves, you know, a problem of sorts, then, you know, it can be quite scary, I think, and there can be a lot of apprehension about the risk associated with setting something up and just going for it, really. And I think if you have this idea, just start it in any way you can, as small as you can, and in any form that you can, to just de-risk it completely. And I think if you believe in it enough, and, you know, the customers like it enough, then the people will get behind you, and it will grow. I think that's what I'd say, is just, if you have an idea, start it in any form you can, and if you believe in it enough, it will grow.
Yes. That's really interesting. My business partner Adam's got this phrase that he uses a lot, because I'm a bit of a procrastinator. I sort of like the ideas and they do it, but he always says it's the doing it that's the difficult bit. That's the bit that makes a difference. So what's next in the Broma story then? Like, where are you going, and how can people follow you? How can they get involved? How can they support you, and where can they buy your stuff from?
Well, yeah, we're pretty active on the Instagram now. Always putting up new recipes on there, and on the website we've got a blog on there, always talking about interesting topics like the difference between refined, unrefined sugar, difference between cacao, cocoa, as well as every week we're putting up new recipes like banana breads and
lovely
chocolate avocado mousses and
all right,
things
chocolate
like that.
avocado. That sounds very tasty.
That's popular one, actually, and all the recipes we do, we make sure they're just super simple, so kind of 5 minutes, 5 ingredients. And for this chocolate avocado mousse, you just take your Broma, ripe avocado, a bit of avocado oil, or some people like to use coconut oil. It's quite nice. It's always good to see what other people kind of substitute into it, and then that gives you inspiration to then alter it as well. And you just blend them together, and that's it. A really silky, kind of healthy, chocolate avocado mousse.
That's really nice. Yeah. I'm definitely going to give that a bash.
So I think,
I said I'm definitely going to give that a bash. It sounds really good.
Yeah, it's good. Yeah, really simple.
We'll put links to all your social feeds in the podcast content that we get out there. And can people buy from your shop online? Can they buy from Amazon as well?
Yeah, absolutely. Yes. So it's bromafoods.com is our site, and it's available on Amazon. That's something we've been working on recently, especially. Try and get that going as well as we can, which is always a challenge. I don't think they necessarily make it easy for you on there sometimes.
No.
But it's all there. So
right. Oh, good. Well, we'll put links to those as well. Well, look, thanks to everyone that's joined us today. Charlie, thank you so much for your time. It's been an absolute pleasure talking to you and trying out these fantastic products. Highly recommend, guys, go out and find Broma online on Amazon, on their shop. Give them a whirl. You won't be disappointed. Check out some of those really nice recipes as well that Charlie's got on the go for you, and follow these guys on Instagram and their social feeds. And look, thanks for listening to us. If you like what we're doing, give us a like and a subscribe and a share, and tell your friends about it. See you next time. Thanks for watching this video, guys. Don't forget to leave a like, subscribe and hit the bell icon to be notified when we upload a new video. Let us know in the comments below if you have any suggestions. Click the link on the left to check out a playlist with similar videos to this series and check out the one on the right to watch our previous upload. Thanks again and see you soon.